Hello everyone, welcome back to channel. My name is Agent Ross and this is episode 3 of our Three.js 3D checker series. Before we start, I want to be clear about something. We are not rewriting or breaking anything from the previous episode. We are going to extend our existing code using clean and consistent naming. If you follow episode 2 correctly, everything you wrote there will stay exactly the same. This is how real projects grow, one layer at a time. At this point, your main.js already contains a scene, a camera, a renderer, lighting, and generated checkerboard. We are going to add new code below that, not replace it. If your board renders correctly, you are in the perfect position to continue. Before adding pieces, let's talk about naming. Bad variable naming causes bugs that are extremely hard to track. So we will follow these rules. Functions start with verbs, objects are nouns, arrays are plural, constants are descriptive. This means we will not use vague names like objects, thing, temp, etc. Scroll to the bottom of your existing main.js file. Below everything you already wrote, we are going to add a helper function. This function will be responsible for creating the 3D shape of a checkers piece. Notice the name createCheckerPieceMesh. This tells us exactly what the function does. We also name the parameter pieceColor, not just color, to avoid confusion later. A checkers piece is more than just a mesh. It needs to know which team it belongs to, where it is on the board, whether it has become a king. So we create a function that returns a piece object. We deliberately use column and row instead of X and Z. Why? Because X and Z are 3D world coordinates. Row and column describe board logic. Keeping those concepts separate prevents bugs later. Now we need a place to store all pieces. This allows us find pieces, move them, remove them when captured. The name checkerPieces tells us exactly what this array contains. Later, the AI and move logic will rely on this. Now let's place the starting pieces. We will use the same board mat as episode 2, only place pieces on dark tiles and respect the real checker rules. We use both sides instead of hardcoding the number 8. This makes the code easier to maintain. The column plus row divided by 2 equals 1 logic ensures pieces only appear on dark tiles. Red pieces start at the top, blue pieces start at the bottom. Nothing from episode 2 changed, we only added new behavior. At this point you should see a full checkerboard, 12 red pieces, 12 blue pieces, all placed correctly on dark tiles. If something is wrong, double check naming, make sure code was added, not replaced, ensure your loops match exactly. Why this structure will save us later? This structure is intentional. Later when we add movement, captures, AI, kings, multiplayer, we will never have to guess where data lives. The mesh is visual, the objects is logic, this separation is critical. In this episode, we added checker pieces without breaking anything. We used clean naming, we respected the existing architecture. In the next episode, we will let players click a piece and highlight valid moves. That's where interaction begins. If this helped you, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.